Hello everybody, this is Ed in Fast Track Video, and this is going to be a little lengthy video. Just to give a heads up here, a lot of people I see on YouTube is about man caves, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that do have them. This may look like a man cave, but it really is not. This is called an office cave, and I'm going to end up laying out some specifics on this projects that I had built. Pretty much try to brainstorm and figure it out. We're going to go through this pretty quickly. I do have some areas for Daisy as she comes in here. She has a little bed over here, and sometimes she brings her toys in here, and we have a crazy time together here. This couch here, it's small in size. I wish it was a little bit bigger when I bought it. I got it off of Craigslist. Sometimes the visuals don't look very well when you buy things online. But I was fine with it. It's a futon couch. And its back can fold back down and extend it into a bed. And it works, it does its purpose. Has cup holders in the middle. So, but I mean, if I could, I would have maybe bought it, on Sam's Club for an extra couple $100, and it would have been a little taller. So we're going to move along here. I'm going to try to keep my facial recognition on the laptop working so that I can keep everything else viewable here, because we are going to go through these things relatively rapidly. I have a whiteboard in this room, and I normally had this as a war room listing of prayers to people and things, and I still may use that in here as well as maybe a list of projects and things I have to do during the week, things around the house, etc., etc. So we're going to move on to the tables next, and then we'll move from left to right. Right to left throughout this video. These tables here were hand built by me. The legs, the staining, and the mounting of the beads along the table itself. I made this to follow a theme in my old house. It doesn't really carry a theme here because it's been pushed around, separated out as a theme that I had over there. Anyways, all of this was designed, or it was purchased, the wood components from Home Depot, and I just built this. I built two of them. They were like, if I had to buy these originally from a store, it would have cost about $600 a piece. Instead, I spent $600 and made two of them. And these are real long tables. They're 8 feet long. From here to the back is 32 inches deep. And the height on this part here is about 4 inches. And it's about 32 inches from the floor to the top. And these are modular tables. And that's just the way I make everything out of wood that I do cabinetry, shelving and tables, etc. I build these things modularly, which means they can easily be detached. And these tables, the legs can come off easily, and then I can just pull them out of the room, the whole table. So that's just the way I build things, modular. Moving on, we got a healing pad here. If I get my X-Acto knife out, I can cut with paper or different things that I need. There's a cutting board here as well for trimming things. And then we got over here, starting off, we have the Dell M6600 laptop, and I've had this for 12 years. It still works good right now, but because of the factor that I can't go back to Windows 7 in 2008 as good as I could now at 2021, I could not move forward with cloning drives to boot up on solid state drives with Windows 10 Pro today. I literally have to go back to all the drivers and the components of 2009 to where I have the boot software that will automatically boot up the device. In March I had a situation with Microsoft where they basically I had a cycling loop issue with the laptop, and I could no longer get it functioning the way I'd like it to be. But in the case of where it is today, it still works and it still does the things I'd like it to do. So it's still going to be around with me for as long as it can survive. In this case right now, that hard drive goes, then the whole unit is gone. I also have a Spirit-Filled Bible, one of the Jack Hayford editions, which is really a great study Bible. It's got a lot of study components in here, and I just really enjoy it a lot. Spirit-filled. I'm sorry that it's a little crimpled or crimped on the sides here, but I've had it for quite some time. I have a picture of my lovely wife, and she's been approving the factor of what I'm doing here only because of the factor that I have to start to get some work going on pretty soon and start bringing in some income in the household here. So over here we have a phone speaker system where I can attach the device to the phone and I can get larger speaker sounds through it. I also have an award-winning grandfather clock in the back. It's a tabletop clock. It does work. It won an award. It's labeled in the back as well from the New York Clock Company, and basically that is a classic grandfather clock. People were telling me to watch out for the glass. That glass in the middle there is worth a fortune, supposedly. I don't know. I mean, someone told me. And then I got these stands here for the phones for any blogging or vlogging. And now we go into the new device here where it's blinking here, and I'm going to get my face in here so that it can recognize me. Trying to see if it recognizes, and apparently it's still blinking. Maybe I might have to put a password right into that to get it to work. So anyways, this is the Dell well, not the M, it's just the Dell 5750 laptop. In conjunction to the M6600, it's half the size of this. It's like, that one's 1.5 inches. This, on the other end, is 1/2, a little bit, between 1/2 and 3/4 of an inch. And it is, I'm going to go through the details of it over here. As you can see here, it is running on a Windows 10 Pro with 4 cores. It's, you can see that 5750, 64 megs of RAM, and it's got 2 hard drives in here. And the hard drives are like the RAM cards now. They are not the 2.5 inch solid state drives like I've had. It's got a long table board here. But I'm going to be honest with everybody here. I only want really one item plugged into the system. Just to, not to get ahead here, we're going to go over the UWC ThunderBolt 4 hub. But that brings and produces power. So it's not only power coming into this system, but it's data too, through a Thunderbolt cable, one of these. But because it can only offer 100 watts, this laptop requires 130 to run everything and be charged. So I have to have 2 cables on this at all times. It does have a dongle, and that will not normally be there at all moving forward. I just will only have 2 cables supporting this drive here, this device. One specific to power, and one's going to be specific to data. But unlike the aspect that I've learned over 12 years with this laptop here is these ports that are back here, the HDMI, I had so much cable going into the laptop that when I needed to take the laptop out, I had to unplug everything. And not only that, it does over time weaken the ports and then they don't function very well. In this case, we're not going to really do that that much at all. So I'm just looking in terms of minimizing the amount of connections on here and even the usage. I'm not going to be really using the pad. I'm not going to really be using the keyboard because I have the keyboard and mouse down here, which are the Dell Premium Keyboards 73210W, I believe it is. So we will get up more involved with that too. Just going back into this, we have, hold on a second here. Okay, I'm going to also go through the video card here. We have the Nvidia Quadro 3000. It's got, I guess it has 34 megs of RAM too. But, you know, that's what really is requiring the power of this device here is the Quadro. From what I'm learning about this device here. But overall, the Dell 5750, this is a monster of a system, and I have this over a tray that's above ground only because of the factor that it does need venting, and like the M6600, it needed venting, but I noticed that my tables were getting awfully hot. And just for the sake of the style, and I mean, I could always move things underneath. I'm trying to utilize space as productively as I can here. We do have a lamp, a touch lamp that also works by touch. And, well, I can turn it off, maybe I can't. But anyways, just to let everybody know, there's 4 places of where things have been purchased here. It's either been through Amazon, it's either been through Home Depot like the tables have been, it's been through a manufacturer, it's also been purchased through Craigslist if possibility, and maybe Sweetwater. As I'll say, in regards to the audio equipment and purchases of music instruments, it would be Sweetwater. Here we have a studio monitor. We have a front and a left. And just trying to go over these things, I can tell you they do sound very, very good. As you could probably hear here. Of course, I don't have this at full blast. But it does get very loud. You know, I just have some of these real pictures of the thunderstorms that we have over here, which are really intuitive in nature. So anyways, I'm going to turn that off here because I don't want to really confuse everybody with what this project is that I'm developing here. So those are the JBL 308s. They are very, very good, highly reviewed. And I had them for years and they weren't working so well, but now in this place, they're working real good. I don't have any hissing and buzzing sounds. These monitors, audio monitors, are connected to the Scarlett 4x4 Scarlett hub. And that device, this big red box, is really our audio input and output device. Its purpose is to bring in equipment. I have 1/4-inch jacks on the front as well as a few in the back for 4 devices. Could be anything from mics or wireless mics to guitars to additional keyboards other than these keyboards, or anything that is to be mic'd with a violin, a cello, unless it's wireless or through a 1/4-inch, it can connect into this device. If it is something that's not needed to be connected through a 1/4-inch analog and it's going to come in via digital, we have these, the Electron Overhub, where I can put in cables, USB cables into that. and have the information come through USB. So we're going to get real close to this information shortly. I just don't want to get far ahead of myself in regards to how things are set up here. But overall, the monitor's audio is connected to the Scarlett hub, the red device. And the red device is connected to the back end of the OWC Thunderbolt 4 hub. And those two hubs there is the brains to data that all goes through one little cable here into the laptop. So anything, keyboards, mouse, the telephone, the audio systems, the instruments, they all go through this hub, including the printer down below. It connects to the hub. The phone, the cell phones like, the LG, this connects to the hub, and it goes directly to this laptop through one cable only. So moving forward, we'll go back to the phones here. First and foremost, I am using right now to record this for the first time. Actually, I'm doing 3 takes. This is my 3rd take here, is the Samsung S21 Ultra 256 gig phone, and I'm using director's view, which gives the camera to video me as well as video the product or the live element that I'm trying to focus on. Of course, sometimes I have to move, my hands come in the way on the selfie camera and it gets in the way. But overall, I love this new camera or this new phone per se, because it does some features that I have not seen before in cameras or phones. I knew it was about time for me to get one. The LG I've had for about 4 years, and it was becoming more outdated. So I will be having a new case for this S21 Ultra, and that will bring in all my credit cards. It'll slide, there will be a slider device, and I'll show presentation on that as well here in this part of this video of the kind of rugged protection for the phone I will use to keep my cards and to keep the phone intact. So what I really like about these phones like the S21 as well as the LG is I'm using a Thunderbolt 4 cable here, which will both charge the phone and pull data out of it. And it'll pull the data so I can control and manipulate it right into the laptop. That's a cool feature with regards to Thunderbolt, and if you have a hub. And that's the whole purpose of the hub here, is to do 2 things. One is to collect data, and the other one is to charge the devices. And that is this device here, this silver device. What's above is the Electron overhub. And the purpose of why I got the overhub, and it's connected to the back of the OWC, is I needed additional ports to handle additional devices. And currently right now we have 3. One is to be connected to either the DSIPLAY earbuds, which that's what this is here, in case if I want to use the earbuds, or it could be connected to my audio thing, a speaker device, which I use to enhance audio when I'm trying to listen to the GPS or to listen to the GPS or phone calls when I'm on the road, because I do not have the device set up in such a way on my truck where I could actually, how should I say it? I could actually have it plug and play directly into the audio in the vehicle. My truck's relatively old, and I'm still more working in this office cave than I am with the truck. So we have devices that are connected to the overhub. This little device here is the it's the keyboard and mouse, and that's the Dell 7321W premium keyboard, and it's being connected via USB Bluetooth. This has batteries, so it's probably the only device out of all of my equipment here that's battery, except maybe the VTech phone here. I'll go over that as well. This is connected to another phone line in the other side of the house to the internet cables. But aside from the battery, there's 10 devices in this whole office cave that is electric, that's connected to my surge protectors in different parts of this room here. And there's 10 of them. You got one to each monitor, audio monitor. You have the two dual monitors up here, which we'll get into that as well. We have the phone, we have the printer, we have the shredder, and we have the refrigerator. I think I might be going a little bit quickly, although I've come across some things, but before I even move forward, let's go to the refrigerator. Just real quickly, just to let people know, not a lot of people that I know or man caves that I see, they'd have something like a refrigerator handy for people to bring out beverages, but in this case I do. I keep all my fruit juices in here. Notice it's been almost June right now, and it's been 6 months and I haven't drank one soda this year. So, but I find it very necessary to have drinks as well as some snacks. I have my cashews over here. Actually, it's my wife's cashews. I think Daisy wants to say hi to everybody here too because she's wanting some attention. Anyways, moving forward here, so there's about 10 devices connected to power. I want to go through this Ironworks monitor stand for visual for display monitors. These all have separate power cable connections too, and it has two HDMIs. These are 1080p's. They're not 4K monitors or 8K or ultra high def. I just needed monitors that were large, and these are 32-inch monitors, and that look real good presentation-wise because it's an office. It's not, I'm not trying to making a gaming room here or something, but I really like this setup because these monitors are above the areas where they wouldn't be, and I can tuck things underneath it like this brain and the hub and the Focusrite hub. All these other little goodies are underneath the visual monitor, and these are all movable too. I can bring them in and so forth. I also forgot to let everybody know that with respect to these monitors, what I really like a lot about them is not only so much like what I have set up right now looks really good, but these monitors are interchangeable, which means I can bring this piece into here and I can bring it into here. I could expand things out more, which is really awesome. I mean, that's why I was saying there's a lot of real estate I can move things in, especially when I'm working with a DAW or when I'm working with video, Premiere, After Effects. When you have so many different components, this right here is Camtasia, and I'm in the middle of editing this video here so that I can present it into YouTube. But making a long story short, there's just so much you can do with having multiple monitors and stretching them out. Sometimes it works, in this case it doesn't, but in the case of working with video, when you need more room and you have all these different components with the timeline and you want to see the whole timeline, or when I'm working with music, I want to see where different places in the music and make modifications on the notes. There's so much you can do with a DAW, and that may be a story in itself that I may have to create for people to see so that they can understand what this whole new arena of music is involved with. So anyways, where I did my split on Camtasia, that's where this piece of information is going to come right on in. So we're going to move forward here. These are all running through one HDMI port, or each are connected into a dual video display port going to USB Thunderbolt port on the back of the OWC. So I have one device for the USB, for the videos, one device for the phone using USB Thunderbolt, and then I have the Focusrite connected to the hub. I have this other red box here, which is a small 5 terabyte. It's where I keep all my libraries of data by year. I have 2019, 2020, and 2021. I have another storage device which is about 100 times bigger than this, and it stores all my older stuff. But for the moment right now, I really like to keep that, and that's really my main hub there. It really connects into the USB Thunderbolt ports as well. I have the front cable here going to the back to the side of the laptop, and it basically handles its position. I'm doing a facial recognition through things here. I do have mics which can be connected to the front of the Scarlett hub, and let's see here. I do have this secondary hub connected into the main hub as well. And like I said, because this OWC does two things, it can charge things, but it can also send out and transfer data between devices that are able to, like the red 5 terabyte hard drive over there, or like it needs to just charge these little devices here, or it needs to charge the phone and transfer data. It can do that both on this because the Thunderbolt cables are capable of that. But I do have one where this device is charging from the OWC Thunderbolt port. That is the brains, because without that Thunderbolt port, I would be having all those cables connected to this device, and I'd still be limited. I'd still need more cables to connect to the laptop. But I made it in such a way where it's that much easier for me, as opposed to trying to, just have it all on the laptop. So we also have the little cradle underneath here. I've seen cradles that are just fast chargers for phones, and that's all it does. But like I said, I need data transfer too, and that's where those fast charger things lack. And hopefully in the near future, in the next years or two, they're going to wise up and say we need to implement that too, because some people, they just want to put their phone just on a fast charger, but they also want to transfer data through the fast charger as well. I really believe that technology can do something like that. We have the VTech phone over here. I'm still trying to learn a little bit more on that. Another thing that could be enhanced in the near future with phones is to make residential properties have VoIP. Because as I had a project come into my place a couple months ago, they gave me a Cisco hard set phone. This is a hard set phone right now, but it was connected through my pods back here, which is a part of the Xfinity devices, and it was plug and play. I got VoIP into this room, wireless voice over IP. So I really believe that that can still happen, but it's up to the carriers like Xfinity, Verizon, anybody that does home cabling, they can easily do that. And they probably save a lot of money on that as well. In regards to the stand for the monitors, is the Ironworks stand. Love it. It does give me a lot of freedoms for the room space, and I think I'm being redundant in regards to my conversation regarding that. Moving forward to the Rollei S49 keyboard and the S25 keyboard and the complete S61 keyboard. These are all, well, I'll start with the S61. It's pretty much like a traditional keyboard. Nothing fancy with it, but it is a digital keyboard which only works with notes. You press down things and it creates digital notes that all come into this device over here, the laptop, which I will go over some things here. It's basically what you see down below on this monitor here is the different kinds of softwares I use for this laptop, which are huge. All of the Office 2019 software is installed in here. I'm not doing 365 on a month-by-month basis. Instead, I'm getting the full-blown software, and I'm, based on whenever Microsoft comes out with it, I will upgrade to it, maybe once every 5 years or so. The last time I had the software before this Office 2019 was 2003, so it worked somewhat, not a lot, very well, but it worked enough for me to do whatever I needed to do. But moving forward, I may do it every 5 or 7 years, do an update on the Office software. Aside from that, it's got the Microsoft Windows 10 Pro software. It's also got all of Adobe's Creative Suite software in here. And that includes, InDesign, Photoshop, Illustrator, Premiere, After Effects. There's quite a few, XD, Dreamweaver. All of the Adobe software is installed on this laptop as well. And I don't want to discard things here, but we do have the software of Studio One 3.5 by Presonus, which is a DAW. It's a digital audio workstation which connects these devices of the sound of the music equipment, including the live equipment. If I bring my guitar in here, I can plug a 1/4 inch into that, as well as mics, and I can do a live gig with my guitar and mic. If it's going to be live with the keyboard, I can do that as well. But in the DAW, I would control different kinds of sounds to each keyboard or split it. And I want to emphasize one thing with regards to a digital audio workstation, because some people think that it's not real, it's kind of fake. It doesn't do what live people would do like on a stage, and they're absolutely right. This is a studio setup of what I have here. It's made specifically to do live music, recordings, and make songs and soundtracks and musical scores. However, if I wanted to do a musical score, and let's say some of the digital effects of the violins or the orchestration, if I had like 60 people doing orchestra on my DAW and I'm controlling all of it, and the way it sounds and the way it presents, if I clean it up and make it sound like as good as it can be, as perfect as to a live audience, and I still want to have a live audience do it, operate with the instruments like the violins, the cellos, the oboes, the harps, the timbral sounds, I can export out of the DAW musical scripts where I can present these to a group of 60 people and they can play it live, and then I can record the live music and bring it back in here as well. So the DAW does several things for music. It really presents things that I have more control over how I would like music to play and what I like it to do. So it's a great tool to use. So moving forward, it's getting to be a little late here. A lot of stuff going over. We have the Canon 7D Mark IV. I've had this for about 7-8 years, and it's a great camera. I like to get a light box so I can work with more intricate materials and things. Ultimately, I'd like to migrate up to a 5D Mark IV because the 5D Mark IV gives me more control. I really like that camera in the market, and it would work very well with this Ultra Samsung as well to give me both shutter, ultimate shutter full frame, and with the Samsung it'll give me the best quality that I can for mirrorless, because the 5D Mark IV Canon is not. Below I have a big giant metal case, which is basically the Canon XL-H1A camera, and its purpose also runs through FireWire cable, and I need to get that set up onto the UWC hub as well, so that it can function very well as well. Got an extra chair here. We got Daisy, just eagerly wants to be a part of this whole entertainment here. She likes to see things happen here in this wonderful office cave. It is not a man cave. It is definitely something that can do a lot of different things. There's a lot of software on this little itty bitty laptop, and it can do great. I mean, I'm just looking forward to being a part of projects and businesses to work together with me moving forward. Everybody have a good day, and God bless you. And don't forget, there's that Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 up there, beginning with trust in the Lord. And if you know the rest of the scriptures there to that, you'll be blessed. So talk to you soon. Bye.